Hey guys, it's Kelsey back with another scrapbooking process video. So this is the second to last layout using this collection, and I kind of did what I did with, what collection was it with Off the Board, where it was when I used Willow, and I kind of separated the rest of what I had left into two piles and then made a layout with it. So it's kind of similar to what I did here. There's an Off the Board with Pineapple Papers layout on the last day of the month that I've already done at this point. So this one and the layout after this are the two with my final piles. So this pile basically had all of the green and the dark wood grain stuff, and the second pile had all the rest of the blues and kind of the black and white stuff. So this layout, I'm going to try and get as much as I can of this collection within this color scheme done, and then I will have one layout to go where I'll try and use everything that's left. I know I won't already, but that's my goal and my idea to try and kill this kit. So this layout, again, with the greens and the wood grains, I kind of just laid out my scraps, what seemed natural. Already I pulled in a lot of the green and wood grain scraps and die cuts and started layering up a little cluster in the bottom right hand corner. I think that's so cute. It was kind of blending in with this black and white background though, so I just decided to use one of Allie's giant doilies and kind of cover up that corner to have my little cluster sit on top of it. That way it wouldn't blend with the background, and that kind of solved that problem perfectly. So now I'm kind of glooming that down. You already kind of see just from me laying down my scraps kind of what my design is going to be with my photo. But I got really excited about this little cluster down here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep working with that because I like how it's looking. I just layered up a couple of these frames, one of the tags from the die cut, a couple little like strippy scraps, and then this one dark wood grain piece that says "Bless this house." I'm popping that up on some foam, just for a little bit of dimension and to pull in that dark wood grain, because I have this large dark wood grain paper that's going to be behind the photo, and I know I want that represented down here in this cluster. But I think this little cluster is so cute. It used 4 die cuts and 3 scraps that were pretty small and probably would have been thrown away otherwise, so I really like that little cluster. And now that that's down, I'm going to start working on my paper layers up here. And again, I kind of just laid out my scraps how they made sense and just tried to roll with it as it was. I tried not to change too much about it because I think it looks good. I'm not gutting. Everything's getting glued down because I'm trying to get the rest of this on here. So I'm trying not to trim so I don't have any other scraps I have to worry about trying to get used up. So I am trimming this 4x6 down to a 4x4. I'm matting it on a scrap of white. I just staggered a few of these little scraps, the solid mint and the same paper as the background, to kind of layer behind my photo. And then I had a really awkward shaped scrap of this magnolia paper from where I gutted it on a previous layout. So I'm just trying to layer it in a way where the awkward gap is covered, so it just looks like this kind of larger, more horizontal scrap. And then of course I got this dark wood grain. I'm trying to pull my layers down vertically, so it kind of creates this inverted upside down L design, which I think frames the page really nicely, considering I already have this cluster in the bottom right hand corner. So I'm liking how that's looking. You can see all my scraps to the left there. I have more of the blue scraps towards the top and more of the green scraps towards the bottom. So I'm really looking at the green scraps on the bottom with these same kinds of colors and designs. So there's this little tag here I have left of the photo. I'm going to pop that up on some foam, but that pulls in that magnolia print. I'm going to go ahead and glue down this magnolia print to the wood grain. And again, looking at my sticker sheet, I'm really trying to use up anything that's green, anything in the color scheme. I'm going to go ahead and pull off a bunch of the things I'm really going to try to commit to get on here. So there's this little dark wood grain piece I think pulls in that same kind of look of the piece I already included in my lower right hand embellishment cluster. So I put that on my little tag there with a little green banner that says kitchen. This photo was actually taken in the kitchen of my mom's old house, but this is when Billy and I were home from school for the weekend, and it was the first time Billy was actually taller than KK. He'd been shorter than her up until now, and he's finally, as he's growing, taller than her. So I got a photo of them sitting next to each other. I just wanted to document that because it really helped me really recognize his growth. So I thought that was a cute little little sentiment, and especially because it was literally taken in the kitchen, I liked the idea of having that little kitchen banner that was green. And then I'm just trying to find places for these other stickers. I wasn't planning on having a cluster up here above the photo, but I had a dark grain, wood grain, branding strip scrap I wanted to get used up. There was another green sticker that said our house. So I'm just trying to find places for all of this stuff. But I like how my layers are. I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. And now I'm just trying to get what I can used up. I don't want it to look like I'm just throwing stuff on here. And there's still a lot of green stuff I don't get on here because I don't want to just throw it all on. But I really try anywhere I can to pull in the green stuff. So there's a sticker that says there's no place like home. So I really wanted to get that used up. This collection, I really enjoyed using it this month, but a lot of the sentiments are either identical or very similar with the same sentiment. So I don't want to have a lot of identical pieces on here saying the same thing. So that's part of what I do have left over. Like you can see there's another green and dark wood grain piece of the same exact banner that says there's no place like home. And I really wanted to use that piece, but I already had this banner, so there's just no point kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of the struggle I'm having with getting more stuff used up. I do want to title this something about his height. At first I thought about using these tile letters, but the tile letters were more of they were green, but they really had a bluey tinge to them. And because it's going on a more monochromatic green layout, they kind of looked off. They look fine here. I probably could have left them, but I remembered I had some green puffy stickers that Christina sent me in my kit from last month. So I decided to go with those instead because these were just looking really dark and more blue toned. So I let them sit there for a minute, but I do end up switching up my title. But I just titled it, I think those I said big boy because those are or big pup because those were the letters I had. But once I kind of put those away and grabbed these other ones, I could actually spell out tall boy with this alphabet. So I went ahead and just did that. And I think this alpha fills up that space better as well. So getting that on there. I didn't have any more exclamation points, so I used a period in the inside of one of the skinny O's to make the exclamation point. And I think that looks good. I don't think you can tell I had to make my own exclamation point. But yeah, I think that's cute. There is kind of this awkward gap now underneath this banner in my title, so I am taking a piece of this die cut here and just trimming it into another layer. You did see I went in with my little corner rounder and rounded a couple of these layers just so it wasn't all so boxy. A lot of these frames in the bottom right corner and the die cuts in the bottom right corner are very round, plus the doily, and there was nothing really like that in my upper clusters. Everything was very sharp corners, so going in with this rounded punch, I think makes this area complement my little embellishment cluster. There's enough round things and sharp corners together to where I think it looks more cohesive. And then I was really stubborn and wanted this last little sticker on here, so I popped that up on some foam and added it up there to the upper right hand corner of the photo. And now I'm just going in with my wood veneer hearts for finishing touches. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling. But yeah, this is a fun page to come together. I love the end of the month where I just get to use a bunch of scraps and try to get stuff used up. And I really like this design. And it came together purely just because of the shape my scraps were in. I just kind of let that lead my design, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to glue down all of these little wood veneer hearts, and then I am going to go in with a white pen and just journal underneath this mint layer. It just says, Billy is finally taller than KK, and then I dated it with a little doodly heart, and that's pretty much it. So I think you'll see the close-ups here in a minute. I don't think I add anything else. I think I'm just looking up the date here. But here are the close-ups, so thank you guys so much for watching. I have one more layout to try and get the rest of the stuff used up, plus the off the board with pineapple paper layout that I already have done that you'll see on the last day of the month. So stay tuned for that. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.